Good evening, dear friends. Welcome to Spacefaring Civilization. I'm Masood, your host. Thank you for joining me for this live stream. So I haven't been around for a while. My apologies. So you'll see what's happening with Spacefaring Civilization. For those who have just joined us or who are new to this channel, just bear with me. I just want to go through a few things before I get on to the really nitty-gritty stuff. So Spacefaring Civilization, or SFC Films for short, is a resources or a platform that I'm creating for filmmakers to collaborate with each other or help each other to make optimistic science fiction. So this channel is specific for optimistic science fiction. So I'm going to change the way I do things a little bit. So I'm going to be live streaming every Saturday from now on. So it kind of forces me to actually do something every week, which is great. So it's going to be live stream or live recorded, such as this. With, I'm going back to the basics, live cam, just me talking to the screen, or I might get other filmmakers to join me, and we discuss things. We learn from each other. I'll organize some interviews with some filmmakers, some professional filmmakers who can give us hints and tips, and also panels. So I try and organize panels. But more about that in a little bit later. Just quickly, I just want to talk about SFC Films, who, what, and why. Basically, who are the people involved, what is it exactly, and why are we doing this? As I mentioned, this channel and the associated social media are about optimistic science fiction. This is filmmakers creating optimistic science fiction and helping each other create science fiction, optimistic science fiction. The history of it is that a few years ago, I started the YouTube channel with the aim of basically promoting my own films, because I'm an emerging filmmaker. So I'm kind of promoting my own films and my own branding as I grow as a filmmaker, as I learn. So what I thought was, could we create something, or could I create something that can be a common platform that can help us grow and also grow the audience. So optimistic science fiction is a very niche market. So we need all the help that we can get. So since I'm a software engineer, like my background is in software engineering, I thought about open source software. So the philosophy of open source is that a bunch of people, or a passionate bunch of people, get together and work on a project, on a common project, that they work with each other. So it can be people from all around the world. So people help out any way they can. They test code, they write code, they plan, they architect, they design, they make the databases. A classic example is PHP. So PHP is the foundation coding platform for social medias like Facebook. So Facebook has altered it a little bit to suit their own needs, but the core of it is all open source. So it's freely available to people to use, modify, and use it for their own projects. Another example of a platform that is open source but also provides open source resources is GitHub. If you haven't heard of those things, just do a Google search. They're fascinating stuff, and these are really awesome people that are doing awesome things. This is not to say that commercial stuff is not valid, or like, it's in place of commercial stuff. We still need commercial and corporate entities and projects, but this is more about people who are passionate about a particular thing, a particular project. They contribute to that project, and at the same time, others contribute to their own project. So it's a kind of a give and take kind of thing. So the main purpose of it is collaborating towards a common goal. So open source, optimistic science fiction is a genre that is not very common or not mainstream, but a lot of people are passionate about it, such as myself. So having watched Star Trek, Babylon 5, and lately the Orville, these are awesome science fiction shows that gives us a vision of a better future. So I'll talk about that a little bit later as well. So who is involved in spacefaring civilization? So as I mentioned, I've created the platforms, and I go about how that evolution came about and where we are now. But at the moment, we have about 100 subscribers on YouTube channel and about 320 on the Facebook group. So the community is growing. I'm increasing the resources as I go. As I mentioned, I'm an emerging filmmaker, so I don't have all the resources that I can, so I'm giving as much as I can, and I work in this part-time. So the main aim of the community is basically discussion, helping each other. So it's early days yet, but I'll go through what resources are available and how community can contribute to the platform, as well as what the platform can do for the community, and some of the resources that are available. So the slogan, the new slogan that I've come up with is helping filmmakers create optimistic sci-fi. So this is helping each other create sci-fi. So the evolution of SFC, or Spacefaring Civilization. There's been no major changes, it's just the pieces are falling together. So it was always in my vision to have this platform be a resource center or a common place where filmmakers can come and gain insights into how to make optimistic sci-fi or make the optimistic sci-fis better. It's not meant to be a commercial entity or commercial thing. I do this as a service to the community, and those who also will join, hopefully, and those who join are contributing their time on a volunteer basis. So there is 3 resources that are available, SFC, and I'm building this as I go, and hopefully there'll be more people who can help me out as well as time goes by. So there's this YouTube channel, which is basically, so it used to be where I used to have videos on review of past and present optimistic science fiction, tutorials, news and updates, and also I used to upload my own films as I make them, but also pointing out to other people's projects as well. So I'm going to evolve that a little bit. So what I'm going to do, as I mentioned, I'm going to have a live stream or live recording every Saturday. So there are times that I may not be able to do live stream. So in those cases, I do live recording. In those live recordings, we'll have tutorials. We'll talk about projects, optimistic science fiction projects. We'll talk about, or we'll have a chat with other filmmakers who can give us hints and tips, what to do on a low budget. We can still create awesome optimistic science fiction with little money. I've seen people do awesome things, and I'm hoping to get in touch with some of the established filmmakers and get them on board, see if we can have a chat with them, have an interview, and see if they can give us some pointers. Just going back a little bit quickly, so the whole SFC films, or Spacefaring Civilization, is mainly for emerging filmmakers. But it's also useful for established and filmmakers who are in the business already. Um, so as they, so this is also a contribution thing. Excuse me, you're gonna have to get used to this, me bundling until I get better at this live streaming, live performance. I'm more comfortable behind the camera than I'm in front of it. But anyway, we'll get there. So as I mentioned, so it's not only useful for emerging filmmakers, it's also useful for established filmmakers who want to showcase some of the classic films, but also who want to share with us what they've learned, and maybe they can learn from each other as well. So this is my hope, what I'm aiming towards. So one of the major pieces that have fallen into place is the website. So in a minute, I'll share my screen with you, and I'll go through the website quickly. But before I do that, so this website is designed to look and feel like a streaming service, like Netflix. And I've at the moment put in my films, my Spacefaring Civilisation films on there for anybody to watch. So it's free to watch. So it is both for fans and filmmakers of Optimistic Sci-Fi. My main aim is for this website to be a central hub for optimistic science fiction. This is way, way into the future, but I'm working towards it, and I hope you join me to get that happening. So let's go to the website, and I'll talk through what's involved in the website and how you can make use of this wonderful resource. Just 1 minute, I just go to the website. So this is the Spacefaring Civilisation films website. So just as I mentioned, on the front, on the main page, all the films will be listed. So all the films that are streaming from this website will be listed, and people can watch them. And if you go to the details, it also highlights who the actors and the director are. In the future, I'll have other cast and crew in there. So the theme that I'm using limits me to just actors and directors, but I want to work with the developers to see if we can expand that so we can have basically all the cast and crew listed in there. And the cool thing is, just like Netflix, if you click on the person, say John Kelly. So by the way, John Kelly has helped me out a lot with the website. He's proofread what I've written, make sure everything that is in there makes sense. So basically, John Kelly was an actor in one of my films, The Talk, and there's a little bit of details, and then if you click on more details, that goes to the IMDb page. So this is very useful for your filmmakers, for you, to kind of give something back to your cast and crew. So generally we have, especially for short films, we have volunteers, and these wonderful actors volunteer their time. So the more we can give them, the better. So this is one thing that I thought of that would be very useful to kind of increase their profile, but also it provides, I guess, a central place where we can see who's played in optimistic sci-fi and who we can basically call upon if we need to. So this is the collaboration bit. So John Kelly has been wonderful in my films. Who knows? Maybe he'll play in he'll play in my other films, and I'm sure he'll be open to other projects as well. So I should mention, this is not just for short films and experimental films. It's also for feature films. So anything that basically classifies as optimistic science fiction, and you're ready for it to be in a public arena. So this is so if you go to the filmmaker section, there's a little bit of a blurb on if you're a filmmaker, how this resource can benefit you, and also how you can submit your films. So just a quick note, and I stress on this, this is not meant to be a commercial entity. So this is not going to make money. As a matter of fact, I put a lot of money into it. But what it can do, it can be a launching platform for emerging filmmakers, but also for established filmmakers to, I guess, highlight or promote their films to the fans of optimistic science fiction. So that's one benefit. So at the moment, I don't have the forms in there, so I'm working on some terms and conditions before I open up the forms for submissions. But you can definitely email me with any questions that you have. And I would love to hear from you if you have on an optimistic science fiction film that you're already ready to be included in the SFC Films website. So that's one of the things. I'm looking for content. I'm approaching a few established filmmakers, but also if you know of anybody that you think would be happy to contribute, please let me know. So for those who are just getting started, I've started a writing contest. So there is a festival section in the website, and I'll grow this as we go. But currently, there is a contest that has been running. There was a contest in 2019, and you can see the winners there. There was 2 scripts that won the contest. So basically, this is aimed at sparking ideas, so getting people started. So it's only 5 pages, so it's 5-page short film. And I encourage everybody, whether you are a fan of optimistic science fiction or a filmmaker or emerging filmmaker or a student, get on to this contest. So the 2020 contest is open, and you click on this button. So click on the Film Freeway button, and it'll take you it'll take you to the Film Freeway page, where it has all the details of the contest and the submission things. Let me just quickly go to it and have a quick look. It's a little bit different to last year, how I ran the last year contest. So last year contest, basically people submitted over several months, and at the end of it, I judged the scripts and then chose several finalists. And out of those finalists, I judged 1 or 2 winners. It actually happened that there were 2 winners, because they basically, when I ranked them, they tied. But it was meant to be just 1 winner at the time. But this year, I'm doing it slightly different. So so it's open for submission right now, so you can submit your script right now. So depending on when you submit your film, it'll be included within, let me start that again. So there's a deadline every month, and every month I will go through all the submissions all the scripts that have been submitted, and I will choose one to be the finalist. So that happens every month. So if you submit your script in November, so you're basically competing with all the people who have submitted the script for November only. It doesn't carry over to December. So I will choose one script per month to be the finalist, and at the end, which is August 2020, I will have judges. So I'm actually looking for judges to judge the final finalists, And then out of that, there'll be one or more winners who will win either cash prizes or or other prizes, cash or other type of prizes. I haven't determined that yet. I'm looking into it. So just keep watching what's happening. So basically, my advice is if you wanna submit, so you can submit as many scripts as you want. If you want to submit, say, 3 or 4 scripts, don't submit them in 1 month. Spread them out. So then that increases your chances of winning. So again, this is not about winning. This is not about commercial aspirations. This is about to get you started on thinking about optimistic science fiction. Write something, and then if you're not a finalist in 1 month, then either submit a new script or improve your script and then submit it again the next month. So what I've done, so with the fees, I've made them very simple. So it's all the same, and it's $5 US. For some reason, Film Freeway doesn't allow me to choose my own currency, my local currency. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So doesn't matter where you are around the world. You can submit it online, and yeah. So I'll announce the finalist every month in the live stream. So that's another thing that I'll be doing in the live stream. I'll be talking about that. So let's go back to the website. So if you want to know a little bit more about SFC films, you can click on About SFC Films, and that's a little blurb on what I'm aiming, who it is. Now, before I move on to the Facebook group, the most important question is why, and I haven't answered that yet. Why am I doing this, and why should you join? And that's a very good question. So one of the unique things about science fiction is that it is looking to the future. And something even more precious and more unique in optimistic science fiction is that it looks to the future in a positive sense. That doesn't mean that we don't have dramatic stories and the characters that we build don't go through challenges. It's about having a positive vision of the future, having a scenario where having I guess, no-win scenario in a film, I found it kind of productive. It's while it might attract audience or it might be appealing to a certain type of audience, I generally stay away from that, or not stay away, but I usually don't watch it. I do watch. I do force myself to watch things once in a while because I'm a filmmaker, and that's how you learn. You watch, and you analyze. But optimistic science fiction is my main thing. That's what I love to watch. Excuse my stomach. So I guess the why for me is an inspiration that I get. So when I watch shows like Star Trek, it inspires me, and there are many astronauts or scientists that I've mentioned that Star Trek or shows like Star Trek Babylon 5, they've been great inspiration to them to get into the space exploration field. And I believe that's the truth. So every astronaut that's gone into space and looked at the Earth, they basically come changed. They say that, or they say something to the something like that they've viewed a beautiful blue planet with no borders. There's no divisions, and that's what I guess part of my essence. What I believe is the unity of mankind, and we're one human family. So it's part of my spiritual journey as well. So it aligns very much with my faith. and I believe science is one of the most profound things that will make us grow and uh, make us uh, make us an ever advancing civilization and a spacefaring civilization. Anyway, enough of that. um, let's keep on going. So now I'll show you the Facebook. So this is another resource that filmmakers can use. So this one is more interactive. Let me just share my screen again. So this Facebook, so currently there are 318 members, wonderful, wonderful people who post and share their thoughts on space sciences, space exploration, past films, and theories, scientific theories, filmmaking, filmmaking techniques, and things like that. So by all means, join this group. This is a lot more interactive. You can post things just like any other Facebook group. You can post things. You can share things. You can comment. You can have a discussion. I do have a stress on being respectful to other people. Um, we don't have to agree with each other to get along. We can have differing point of views. That's the whole point of the whole humankind being one human family, is that we can still be different, but be one compassionate and loving human family. And another thing that I stress upon is keep it relevant to either optimistic science fiction or space sciences, so space exploration. So would love to see you there, join. So this is also a useful place to, I guess, ask for a collaboration in your own project. But also, if you want to offer your own services to other projects, that's all. I also encourage you to do that as well. That's a great resource. Use that. So part of the live stream is that at the end of the live stream, I have a Q&A section. Session. So that's where you can ask me questions and I answer them. And if I have a filmmaker with me or somebody with me, they'll also join in the discussions as well. It's open to whatever you like. So I'll start off with two questions that I've had during the time that I've been running the YouTube channel. Is one of them is, do you make money from SFC? And I think this question came about because I've got a fee on the contest. The simple answer is no, I don't make any money out of SFC. As I mentioned, it's a community service for me. What the fees are, basically to cover the costs that I incur. So right now, I'm spending more money than I'm getting back, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. But eventually, I want to get to a state where SFC is running itself, and I don't have to contribute much money to it. So it's just a matter of finding the right model that works the best for SFC. So keeping it free for fans of optimistic science fiction to watch optimistic science fiction, and at the same time, filmmakers can have a platform to promote their work and also increase their profile and things like that. And the second question is, how can I help SFC community? And that's a great question. So the simplest thing is to subscribe to this channel. That'll increase the profile of the YouTube channel, and then we get more people in, and it's just snowballs from there. Also, joining the Facebook channel and contribute to the conversations there. One major thing that I'm looking for at the moment is more content. So I want to grow SFC website with more content. If you have optimistic science fiction content, please get in touch with me. It doesn't have to be just films. It can also be documentaries about space sciences. So if you've done a series and things like that, just don't submit the ones that you want to use for commercial purposes. As I mentioned, this is a non-commercial venture. Anything you want to make money out of, do not submit it to SFC. But if you've done an experimental film and you've learned from it and you want to share that learning with us, by all means, submit that film. So let me just go to the chat and see if anybody's got any more questions. No, looks like nobody's got any questions. That's fine. This is early days yet, as I mentioned. So thank you very much for joining me. I'll actually be in Melbourne next week, but I'll still stream live no matter where I am. I'll find a not empty, but a hotspot for internet, and I'll stream from my trusty iPhone. And I'll go a little bit deeper into the contest. So there is actually a video that I've done, a tutorial video, how to submit your scripts to the contest, to the writing contest, using Film Freeway. Just have a look for that in the YouTube channel. I'll try and post a link here somewhere. But thank you for joining me. Until next week, have a wonderful, fantastic, optimistic sci-fi day.